Hey, my YouTube family, it's Natalie G again, coming at you with another one. I was moving around earlier and I heard this song in my head, and it's like I could hear God saying it's already getting better. It's already getting easier. God's already moving on my behalf. And it's a really good song, and I heard it this morning when I woke up. And while I was getting ready to lay down and go to bed, I heard God say, Natalie, pride goes before a fall. So I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And I heard the same thing yesterday. So yesterday I was talking to someone and they were telling me that pride is a very strong thing to have. And sometimes you can allow your pride to get in the way and not do what it is that God has told you to do. So I'm like, okay. He said, if God is nudging this person or putting this person on your heart and putting this person in your spirit, that means it's something that he wants you to do about it. So I ended up calling this lady and talking to her, and I got my pride out the way because I've been thinking about her and dreaming about her, and I know God was saying, I need you to talk to her. For whatever reason, I just need you to reach out. So I'm like, okay, God, and I was obedient and I did it. And it helped me because I knew God was breaking chains of pride off of my life. And for so long, I have been strong. It's like that's all I had was my strength. And I would tell people, sometimes you never know how strong you are until being strong is all you have. And my pride was in the way. So I felt like I could be strong, and I ain't got to deal with this. I ain't got to deal with that. I ain't got to do anything. I could just ignore stuff and act like it don't matter. Pride. Or walk away from things or situations as if it doesn't matter when it does. Because if I don't never address it or deal with it because my pride is in the way, then God can never actually work on that. And I know God is shaping me and making me and molding me into the woman that he has always designed me to be. So I'm reminded of a situation last year where I was talking to this guy where we were dating or whatever, and he had messed up, and I didn't want to deal with him. I didn't want to be nice. I didn't want to be kind or anything like that. And God says, with love and kindness have I drawn thee. But I wasn't trying to be nice. I wasn't trying to be kind. I was really upset and feeling some type of way because I felt humiliated and embarrassed. Like, really? But through that situation, God began to heal me and deliver me. And it was through me letting my pride go. I remember one morning I was getting ready. I was headed to work. And usually every time before I get to the job, I would stop somewhere and get me a cup of coffee. So that morning, God was like, you're getting you some coffee. Get him a cup of coffee too. And I'm like, I ain't getting him nothing. I ain't being nice to him. And God said, Natalie, love and kindness. He said, how many times have you messed up? How many times have you made mistakes? How many times have you done wrong? Yet I still show you love. Yet I'm still kind to you. Yet I still bless you. Why wouldn't you be kind to someone else? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. So I was mad because I'm in the store fixing my coffee. And mad because I got to fix him one too, excuse me. And so I get to work and I meet him in the parking lot and I give him a cup of coffee. And he's like, man, you know what? He said, I walked out of the house this morning and left my cup of coffee on the counter. He said, I was upset because I was like, man, I ain't even got no coffee this morning. He said, here it is, you bought me one. And I'm like, wow, okay, God, I hear you. So what are you doing in this? Or what are you doing, period? And God was showing me then to release my pride and let that go and show love and kindness because this person still has a soul and you're still in ministry. Regardless to what happens, you still have a work to do. So I'm like, okay, Lord, okay. So it's like a bunch of different events where God actually had me being nice to this person. Even when I wanted to be mad, it seemed like for the longest, every single time I would get mad at him, God would tell me to bless him. I'm like, really? Every single time I got mad or started feeling some type of way in my heart, God would say, bless him. Do this for him. Do that for him. Give him this. Give him that. I'm like, man, that's messed up. He messed up. Why I gotta be nice to him? He say, because you do not repay evil for evil. You don't do wrong to people just because they do wrong to you. You do good to those that do wrong to you. In this, you show people that you're my child. I'm like, all right. So it was one incident where God told me to start writing them letters. And I'm like, really? For what? He said, just do what I say, Natalie. You don't need to know why. Just do it. Say what I say. Write down what I'm telling you to write down. And give it to him. So I'm like, okay, Lord. All right, I'll do that. So I started writing letters. And I started, doing what it is that God had asked me to do. Against my judgment. Against what I wanted. Because it ain't about what I want anyway. It's about what God wants. But I started doing it. And after a while of doing it, he made the statement. He said, I'm really digging them letters. And I'm like, huh? He said, thank you. And then God showed me. He said, you never know how many times he looked for a letter when he was in jail and nobody wrote him. He thought nobody cared. He said, but one little thing can have a big impact on somebody's life. And I'm like, really, God? Really? So my heart started to begin to change then. And my pride started to get out the way then. I was kind of upset because I'm thinking like, you ain't supposed to like what I'm doing. I ain't trying to be nice to you. I'm just doing it because the Lord told me to. So I got an attitude like with myself because I wasn't going there with him because I'm thinking like, okay, whatever. I'm really just being nice because the Lord told me to. But God was showing me then and taking my pride out the way. Because pride goes before a fall. And I'm like, really? Really, Jesus? He said, yeah. And as I'm getting ready to lay down tonight, God reminded me again about that pride goes before a fall. And here it is. God has been working on my heart and my spirit. Because like I've told y'all before, whatever it is that I get out here and speak to y'all, it's something that I had to go through first. It's something that I've had to deal with or am dealing with. So I'm not telling you something that I heard. I'm telling you something that I'm personally experiencing as I continue to keep moving forward and pushing forward. So I'm like, okay, Lord, what's now? What's up? And God was showing me how my pride can get in the way of him doing what he's doing in me. And I'm like, God, but I'm trying, It's like, no, not hard enough. I'm like, okay, God, but creating me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me. And the more you pray and ask God to work on you, he's going to work on the things that's in you that you're not even trying to deal with. Or things that you feel like is not a problem because, I got it, I got this and it's okay and whatever. But that be the very thing that God is trying to bring deliverance to, or that very area that God is trying to bring deliverance to. So I allowed my pride to raise up last weekend and I didn't even realize it. Man, okay, let me backtrack. I have been taught for like 4 to 5 years on how to be strong, how to be tough, how not to allow my emotions to get the best of me, how to kick them emotions out the way. You know what I mean? Just get them emotions off your shoulders. That was the saying. And for so long, I was only taught how to be strong. That love, care, compassion kind of just started sliding away. And then before I know it, I had like a heart of stone. I had like stones over my heart. I was so tough and hard, like nothing mattered and people didn't matter and, whatever, stuff happens, just become numb to a lot of things. And God was showing me then, like, that's not what I want for you. That's not who I've created you to be. It's the reason why you're loving and kind. Why you're loving and kind, be you. Which is one of the things the lady said last night. She was saying, Natalie, be you. Don't try to be anything else. Just be you. So over the weekend, I allowed my pride to get in the way, and I don't even know why. And I didn't even realize that's what it was. But me and my honey was in the house, and, everything was cool. And I'm thinking I'm doing, I'm cool, everything good, He sleep, I'm about to go do my own thing, because like I told y'all, being in a relationship is something new for me, but I'm learning as I go. So it's not easy. It's not easy. But I'm learning every day something new. So I'm in the living room and I'm watching a movie, and I'm really not watching the movie. The movie is watching me. It's just on. Because I actually just did a video that I never posted. But I'm in the living room and I'm doing my own thing, and I'm thinking, it's cool. He's asleep or whatever. I'm good. But I don't know, something shifted. And when he woke up, it's like I could see the attitude, but I didn't even know where it came from. So immediately in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm not dealing with it. I don't know what's going on, and, I didn't do anything wrong. But so he come in, he's like, well, I'm about to go to work. And I'm thinking, like, it's super early, but okay, But my pride was in the way, because I could have said, what's wrong? Are you okay? Is there something that I done? Is there something that, we need to talk about? Or, what's the matter? Is everything all right? I could have said anything to show care and compassion, but I didn't, because my pride was like trying to be tough, trying to be hardcore, like whatever, you about to leave and go to work. Okay. You know what I mean? But it didn't affect me until after. And it's kind of crazy that we think about things after we done it, or after we done said something, or after we've made the wrong move. Then we want to, oh man, I shouldn't have did that, or I wish I'd have said something different, or or even when people die, it's like we always wish we would have done something differently when they're gone. And it's crazy that we think that way, or that we do those things, but maybe that's what God is working on us now, to say, hey, catch it before. But anyways, so I'm in the house, and when he said I'm going to work, it's like something clicked in my spirit. Like it just wasn't right. I didn't have an easy feeling about it. And immediately I'm like, okay, I gotta pee. Because all of a sudden I had to pee. I don't even know why. I was sitting there the whole time, didn't have to pee, but all of a sudden I gotta pee. But it was my spirit man saying, hey, I need you to notice and pay attention. Something ain't right. But I still didn't even open my mouth and say, hey, are you okay? You see, love notices what's not being said. Love wouldn't have just allowed him to just walk out and go to work. Love would have stopped him and said, hey, is everything all right? But by me having that spirit of being hard and tough for so long, it's like I didn't even do nothing but just sit there and watch him walk out the door. And that hurt me so much, because I felt something wasn't right. And it's like, man, I could have, or I should have, or what, and it's what we think about after, when I had an opportunity during the moment to do something different. But my pride was in the way. And I was being tough, like, okay, if you're going to work, okay. Rather than saying, babe, are you okay? Is everything all right? Because we're all going through something right now. Everybody is in some type of boat dealing with something. And I notice with men, a lot of times, like he's told me before, they're not going to tell us when something is wrong. They're not going to tell us when they're going through some things. A lot of things they're going to try to figure out on their own. They're going to deal with it on their own, because that's what men do. They're hard. They're tough. They're strong. They're warriors. They're kings. So it's natural for a king to handle things and not bring it to his woman or his wife or his queen. They take care of it. They handle that. That's what they do. They protect, provide. They're kings. They look after their family. They make sure everything is good. So I wasn't paying attention and realizing that something was wrong or he was dealing with something. And knowing that he wasn't going to come out and say it, I just would have had to figure it out or be in tune enough with the Holy Spirit to know what to say and how to say it or what to do. But I allowed my pride to allow me to sit there and watch him leave out the door. And that hurt because I knew something wasn't right. And God was telling me then, that spirit and that thing that you feel inside of your stomach or inside of your chest, when that goes off, that's an alert to say, hey, check that, see what's going on. But my pride got in the way. And as much as I love and care about this person, and I really do love and care about him, because since he's been in my life, it's been such a big change in so many ways. In so many ways. You know when somebody is touched by God and when the hand of God is on their life, because when they come into your life, things begin to change for the better. And I believe that's why God had that song ringing in my spirit this morning. It's already getting better. It's already getting easier. God's already moving on my behalf to show me that things have been getting better. Things have been getting easier. I don't have to come through the house fussing and my sons like I used to. Do this, do that, do this. Like, that's unnecessary emotions wasted. When I could just, hey, take care of that. And they take care of it. Why? Because if I have respect for them enough to know that they don't need me hollering at them to get my point across, I could just talk to them like they're human beings and they'll get it. You know what I mean? I'm raising my voice for what? Why? I don't need that. They need somebody that understands. I'm human too. You don't want nobody hollering at you. You know what I mean? Why would you holler at me? Or an understanding that, can we do something that we want to do? Can you do something with us that we like and enjoy to do? Being a good parent and listening. And things have been so much easier. Like literally, God has blessed me in so many ways, financially, spiritually, emotionally. And at the same time, I am tearing down walls. Strongholds are being broken. Chains are being broken. Things have been changing for the better. And I noticed the difference. A person don't have to tell you that they walking with God. They don't have to broadcast it or put it on the forefront. You'll know, you'll feel it. Something inside of you gonna click with that. And I felt it. At times when he would pray for me and cover me, I would feel the power of God through him. And it's like, wow, you know, because you could pray for something and pray for something and pray for something and pray for something and get tired of praying and give up. And that's where I got tired and gave up on praying and crying out to God for what I was asking him for. And then all of a sudden, when I'm least expecting it, it just happens, because that's how God moves. When we least expect it, he just does. And shows us, I got this, I got you, I know what I'm doing. And God answered my prayers. But a lot of times, for me, I can only speak for me, I'll pray and ask God for something, and he'll do it. But when I get it, I have to do something also. It's not just gimme, 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 gimme. And God, gimme, 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 gimme. And I'm a spoiled brat behind the Lord, because he gives me almost everything I ask for. And what he has not given me is because I did not need it. And thank you, God, for unanswered prayers. That's a little wisdom right there. But it's like I was preparing, or am preparing, in the middle of going through and learning how to be in a relationship with someone. And a lot of times my pride will rise up. I'd be like, oh, you know, okay, or whatever. Attitude type, well, I could do this. Well, I've been doing it. That's why I cried out to God, because I needed some help. And he sent me some help. I mean, like, really, Natalie? Really? You pray to ask God for help, and help is here. Utilize your help. Utilize your friend. Utilize your companion. Utilize your soulmate. I heard him say one time, some people search their whole life for what it is that we have. And it's that love. And at times, if we're not careful, we can do things we're really not intentionally trying to do. Say things we're really not intentionally trying to say. Or if we're not aware of our actions, we could do things unaware. And I've done things unaware, thinking I'm doing the right thing, but like I had in one of my videos, what about when you do right, but doing right goes wrong? Like, to me, it seemed like it's been an attack since we got together. And that's what showed me God was in it. Because it's so much of a fight. People who really didn't chill with me before, really didn't call me before, now they coming around. Now they calling. Where y'all was at when I was lonely? Looking for friends and company. Where was y'all then? And a lot of times we don't catch that. I didn't catch it. I thought, maybe, hey, they care about me. No, they're a distraction. But God has been working on me in that area of releasing pride and learning how to truly love the way he loves. My pride wouldn't even allow me to open up in some areas and allow this person to come in because I was guarded. Like, I might let him in and he hurt me. I might, open up too much and then he take advantage of that or play on that. And some people do. Some people you talk to and you tell some of your deep, intimate things to, and they'll use that against you. Because I've had people do that to me before. But I'd be like, well, you let this one do it, why I can't do it? Oh, this one did all that, and then I come in, I guess I could do that too. Well, no, I was telling you what I just went through, and I'm not trying to go through it again. So are we really going to do that? So some people will use the very thing, and then some people will play on your vulnerability, and some people will prey on your weakness. And you have to watch that. So some areas that I was kind of afraid to let him in on. When I knew I was safe and I knew it was okay, but I was kind of afraid to open up all the way and just let him all the way in, because in the back of your head you always got that what if. That's the train, y'all, and I done stopped the video already. I done stopped this video already like 3 times. It cut me off before. I didn't even realize my storage was piled up. I didn't even have much on my phone, a doggone iPhone. And it cut me off on one of the other videos that I started off doing. But I'm not stopping it in this one. So if y'all hear it, that's what it is. It's my train. Well, not my train, but it's a train in my backyard. But anyways, so I was afraid of allowing this person to come in because I'm thinking, what if I put my walls down and they leave, or he leaves? What if I put my walls down and open up and he takes advantage of that or play on that? What if? And it's always that what if that keeps us from truly going all the way in. Because it's always in the back of our head, what if? What if I show her this vulnerable side of me? Will she take advantage of it? What if I show her love and kindness? Will she play on it? I've heard him say before, good guys always finish last. Females mostly go after the guys that's bad, the bad boys. They don't really go after the good guys, but I beg to differ. Because some of us do go after good guys. Some of us truly desire good men in our life. But at times when you haven't had that, it's kind of difficult to grasp that, because you're looking like, this is different. Everything is different. And for me, everything was different. A man that's cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, that's something I was doing. But remember, I prayed and asked God for help. And he gave me what I asked for. And a man that loves him. So, in spite of the flaws, mine and his, I knew God is in the middle of it. And I know that I had to be willing to release my pride and allow God to do what it is that he's doing. Because I know God has great works in store for us. And I know that God knows exactly what he's doing and how to do it. But sometimes fear can keep us crippled. Fear can keep us from the unknown. Fear can keep us from moving forward. Because we're saying, man, I'd rather just run than deal with this. I'd rather just walk away and act like it never happened. Or I'd rather just act like they didn't say that and just, brush it off. Or make excuses for people because we're really trying to cover up for them, or their behavior. But no, we're not going to do that. Pride will cause you to ignore the very thing that God is doing in this time and season because you've been used to doing it a certain way. I'm not going to do this because that don't seem right. I'm not going to go here because that don't seem right. I'm not going to get on YouTube and make videos because what? Who's going to listen? Somebody's listening. Somebody's paying attention. And it's just the same as preaching on the streets or ministering to somebody on the streets or encouraging somebody on the streets. Only difference is I'm doing it in front of my camera at my home or wherever I'm at. But my pride kept me from trying something new until I was inspired to try and step out on faith and do something new. A lot of different areas in my life where I've been insecure, feeling like I wasn't worthy or I wasn't good enough or I didn't measure up to certain people's standards. So maybe if I look like this one or act like that one, people would accept me. Maybe if I sung like this person or sung like that person, people would love to hear me. When God didn't call me to be like anybody else or do anything like anybody else, he called me to be me, Natalie G. For years, I've spent so much time building other people's dreams, building other people's visions, doing what other people thought I should be doing. And at the same time, I'm losing myself and trying to be what other people wanted me to be or other people thought that I should be. And that's very, very miserable. I'm telling you, it's miserable because you're trying to fit their standards or you put what it is you dream about or your goals you have on the back burner to make somebody else happy. But at the same time, you're really losing who you are for them. I told y'all yesterday, well, not yesterday, but I told y'all in the last video, never let no one put your light out. But if someone comes into your life and shines brightly and makes your light shine brighter, that is definitely something worth holding on to. That's somebody you want to keep around, somebody you want to keep on your team, people that's going to inspire you and motivate you and uplift you to be your best you. Why? Because they see in you sometimes what you don't see in you. Remember on the last video I told y'all, hidden in plain sight. A lot of things can be hidden. Sometimes things can be hidden from ourselves. I don't know how many times I done hid money from myself. Put it somewhere and go back and look for it and then say, look for me. And I'm thinking I put it here, but I put it somewhere else, hiding it. It's a lot of things that sometimes God don't show me or reveal to me within me because I'll try to force it or put my 2 cents in or control the situation. And it's not for me to put my hand or my 2 cents in. It's for me to trust him and let him do what he's doing because he knows how to do it and he don't need my help doing it. He just want my class participation in it. So when I heard God say that pride goes before a fall, I knew he was saying, at least try, Natalie. I'm like, God, I could call him and he's not going to answer. He say, try. I'm like, but God, I did. He say, try again. I'm like, but God, I did. He say, try again. Love keeps going and going and going, like the Energizer Bunny keeps going and going and going and giving and giving and giving and doing and doing and doing. God has been doing that for generations. God never gave up on me, so why would I give up on somebody else? Now, don't get me wrong, if people want to leave and walk away from you, and maybe it's because, y'all season is up, you know what I mean? Then of course, yeah, let go, move forward. I'm not telling you to hold on to anything. I'm not telling you to stay in an abusive relationship with somebody beating you and putting their hands on you. No. I'm not telling you to stay there with somebody that's constantly messing around on you, taking advantage of you, or using you. And no, you don't stay in that. No. But if you have somebody that's willing to work with you, work through your flaws, and you work through theirs, and they're actually understanding, caring, and compassionate, they got God in them, they love the Lord, they're not talking about them like they really got Jesus, for real. Because a lot of people that go to church ain't really serving the Lord. A lot of people that say Jesus, they don't know him. They ain't trying to draw closer to him. Some people will get closer to God just to get closer to you. That's a nugget. But anyways, if they're really wholeheartedly, and you could see they really love the Lord, but they're dealing with their own personal insecurities, then yeah, you work through that. Because we all have flaws. We all have things that we're dealing with. Everybody is dealing with something, going through something, but we gotta work through it. I told y'all in the last video, we're stronger together. We have to come together. But you can't do it in a prideful way. If you know you've done wrong to somebody, go and get it right with them. If you know, without a shadow of a doubt in your mind, that what God said, it is, and you're not wavering in your faith, and God tells you to go back to that person, and go back to them. God will tell you to do some things that is crazy and off the wall, don't make sense. Like a man in the Bible, he told to walk around naked for years. It didn't make sense, but he did. Like God told Nahum, the soldier who had sores all over his body. God used the prophet Elijah and told Elisha to tell this man to go dip in the pool 7 times. And he was mad, like, what you want me to go dip in this dirty water for? Why I gotta do that? Can't you just speak a blessing and pray over me and this come off of me? He said, no. Go dip in that water. And I believe, hallelujah, God told him to go get in that water because it was his pride that God was trying to wash off.